Good morning. Would all candidates and their guests please rise as you are able? We ask that you remain standing until you are invited to be seated. Representatives of the college faculty will now take their places. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Mary Leffelholtz, Dean of the College of Professional Studies, and Dr. Chris Mallett, Vice President for Online Experiential Learning, will now lead the platform party. I welcome the Executive Director of the Center for Spirituality, Dialogue, and Service, Alexander Levin, to the podium to offer the invocation. After the prayer, let us all join in singing the first stanza of the national anthem led by Muhagali Faruzi.
We gather today as people of many faiths and secular traditions of conscience. Before I offer a vocal prayer, please join me in a moment of silence so that each of us may pause to reflect in our own way upon the meaning of this important day. The ancient scriptures remind us, this is the day that God has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Holy One, you have gathered us here for this brief, blessed time. Soon you will send us forth. We thank you for these, our beloved graduates, for the radiant light that illumines their lives. May they apply their knowledge and their talents to fashion a better world of justice and peace. We thank you also for our faculty and staff who have kindled our graduates' hearts and minds. And we thank you for these parents, families, and friends whose support and sacrifice have made all things possible. Help us, God, to embody Northeastern's best values in all that we do. And in all things, we ask you to bless us and keep us, and to make your face to shine upon us from this day on and forevermore. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we've hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we've watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
We invite you to be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Chris Mallett, Vice President for Online Experiential Learning.
Good morning, graduates, families, faculty, staff, those joining us across our global network, and distinguished guests from the university and alumni community. Welcome to the Northeastern University College of Professional Studies graduation ceremony. We're here today to celebrate the commendable academic achievements of this class of 2017. On behalf of President Aoun, Provost Bean, Senior Vice President Mantella, Dean Leffelholtz, faculty, staff, and alumni of Northeastern University, I wish to congratulate each of you. I would also like to thank you. Thank you for your inspiration, your determination, your intellect, and your bright futures. Thank you for the contributions you have made and will continue to make to the Northeastern community. It's an honor to celebrate you on this momentous day. This morning, we reflect upon your significant accomplishments and successes. Through your global engagement, you have developed the cultural competencies needed for a lifetime of contribution in a fast-paced, diverse, and global society. Through your experiential learning activities, you've addressed pressing, real-world problems and are well prepared to lead from experience in the workplace. Your transformative Northeastern education has challenged you and enriched those around you as you've shared your passions and ideas with the world. And you've inspired us with your adaptability, adapting to new technologies, gaining deep understanding of new environments through experiential learning, applying your new knowledge as quickly as you gain it. And as students working together in online classrooms or physical classrooms, you've experienced the power of networks for learning, creation, and innovation. Like you, we're always learning and creating too. During your time here at Northeastern, we've looked carefully at the future of professional education and have worked to transform what we offer, how we offer it, and have enhanced the ways people can connect with Northeastern over their lifetimes of working and learning. We created the Northeastern University Professional Advancement Network to help people accelerate their careers through the networking, experience, and education they need when they need it. Our alumni, including all of you, can count on this network to help you make meaningful contributions wherever life takes you. This professional advancement network offers innovative approaches to lifelong learning. The network can help you to build connections, sharpen your skills, and grow personally or professionally. It offers degrees, certificates, boot camps, and other ways to learn and interact. You can access it online, here in Boston, or via any of our regional campuses around the world, at your pace and on your schedule. We have you to thank for the inspiration to respond and evolve in these ways. We're fortunate this morning to have with us today the leader of this Professional Advancement Network, Dr. Philomena Mantella, Senior Vice President and Chief Executive Officer. Dr. Mantella, your passion for expanding the ways that students can experience a Northeastern education has created and shaped new opportunities that will have lifelong benefits for our alumni and our employer partners and the communities we all serve. Please join me in recognizing and thanking Dr. Philomena Mantella. Graduates, you make us proud. You motivate us to keep pressing forward in new ways to empower and educate learners for a life of fulfillment and accomplishment. We look forward to the positive change and contributions you will make in your workplaces, in your communities, and in the lives of others far beyond your own networks. Thank you, and congratulations. It's now my honor to introduce Dr. Mary Leffelholtz, Dean of the College of Professional Studies.
Thank you, Dr. Mallet, and good morning to all of you. I welcome the graduates, the faculty, the families, and the guests here with us today. It is indeed my pleasure to be with you at this time of celebration and to extend, on behalf of the faculty and staff of Northeastern University, congratulations to all of our graduates. This ceremony marks a transition point for you, our graduates, and your families. In fact, family and friends often play key roles, I would actually say always play key roles in supporting our graduates, and I would like to take a moment to especially thank you for your support. Will all of the families and friends of our graduates please rise and be honored? I want to extend a special welcome to those of you who completed your degrees online and may be on our campus here in Boston for the very first time. You, more than anyone, know that our classrooms do not have walls. But I also want to assure you, this is your university, just as much as it would be if you had attended classes on this Boston campus, or in Charlotte, Seattle, Silicon Valley, Hong Kong, Ho Chi Minh City, or Melbourne, Australia. All of you graduating today join the more than 240,000 Northeastern alumni who live and work around the world. This is a family that you are forever connected with, a family that welcomes you today and will do so throughout your life. You and your classmates are one of the largest graduating classes of the College of Professional Studies to date, with more than 1,500 degrees being conferred this year. Graduates, you come from all 50 states, the District of Columbia and Puerto Rico, and you come from 70 countries, all brought together to be part of the Northeastern experience. You're the story of how higher education is changing, becoming increasingly global, more flexible, and more intertwined with the professions and with the new fields and enterprises that are just being formed now and that will generate the jobs of the future. In this rapidly changing world, people who thrive are those who learn how to move outside their comfort zone. You have all demonstrated that you are such individuals. You've shown that you're capable of taking chances when you came back to school, whether to upgrade your skills or to pursue an entirely new career. You've already proven that you can shift gears and learn and grow. But you also know that your learning does not end with the award of a degree. In today's world, you must be a constant learner, a lifelong learner. I know you'll continue responding to change with courage and flexibility. Our society needs people like you, people who imagine possibility and respond to changing times. Your education will help you weather these changes, yes, but it has also prepared you to lead change and to transform your fields. You're the ones who will be dreaming up innovative ways to teach and revamping the ways that organizations learn. You have the insight to understand complexities and the foresight to see potential on the horizon because you've been trained to think deeply while always considering the practical implications of your actions. As you cross over today from students to the status of Northeastern alumni, you take with you the sheer determination and impressive resiliency that has gotten you this far. I congratulate you and encourage you to celebrate today. You've earned it. You have accomplished so much and done it while balancing all of your responsibilities. You've opened your mind to new possibilities and learned new skills as a result. I know that come Monday morning, you'll be more than ready to tackle the next set of challenges. I wish you all of the best in life. Thank you for the honor of being your teachers and the staff of the College of Professional Studies.
Thank you, Dean Leffelholtz. To introduce the Excellence in Teaching Awards, I invite Dr. Darren Detweiler, Assistant Teaching Professor and Assistant Dean of Graduate Academic and Faculty Affairs, to the podium.
Thank you. Greetings, graduates, students, families, guests, and obviously our faculty as well. In today's celebration of academic achievement, we pause for a few moments to recognize our faculty and the powerful impact great teaching has on the success of our students and our community. Today, we are recognizing two members of the faculty of the College of Professional Studies with the 2017 Excellence in Teaching Award. This award is based primarily on student nominations reviewed by a selection team for recommendation to the dean of our college. Teaching excellence encompasses various elements, the first being high intellectual standards in course content, rigor, and integration of scholarship and new knowledge. It is also defined by the relationships and the interactions as faculty and students follow the journey together as collaborators in a community of learners. The selection committee received over 100 student nominations statements that were in a windowed into student-teacher interactions, whether they took place in the classroom, online, or on the ground, in conferences, in portfolios or assignments, or in conversations. All of these interactions revolved around the exchange of powerful ideas that empower learners to be all they wish to be. It has brought our graduates here today for a culmination of their academic work. On behalf of the college, I would like to thank our students for making these nominations. It is a great honor for faculty to be recognized by their students. Among the praises shared by our students about their faculty, there were two faculty members who stood out this year, and it is these two faculty who are recipients of this year's award. For teaching excellence, we honor Professor Jennifer Yufeng Xian. Nominated by her students in the Doctor of Education program, Professor Xian is actively engaged in cultivating a dynamic online learning community and assigns relevant coursework and discussion prompts that challenge student thinking and provide the opportunity for students to critically examine their role in the research process. This was written by one of her nominators. Professor Xian is known for her collegiality, thoughtfulness, and commitment to her students and teaching. Dr. Xian has made an extraordinary impact on me, wrote one student. Dr. Xian's years of dedication to the highest quality teaching and mentoring has distinguished her as a most respected and beloved professor at the College of Professional Studies, wrote another student nominator. Professor Xian is a faculty member in the Doctor of Education program, teaching research methods courses and serving as the doctoral research chair. Prior to joining the College of Professional Studies, Professor Xian worked at Dartmouth College as a learning technology specialist for the online professional education programs. Before moving to New England, she was Associate Professor of Education at St. Thomas University, teaching in the Doctor of Education program and serving as the faculty lead of Instructional Technology and ESOL concentrations in the MS in Education program. Professor Xian holds a Doctor of Education in Educational Technology from Lehigh University and a Master of Education in Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages from State University of New York at Buffalo. I invite Professor Yufeng Xian to come forward along with Dean Leffelholtz, who will present her with the 2017 Excellence in Teaching Award. In recognition of your accomplishments, the College of Professional Studies is delighted to present you with this year's Excellence in Teaching Award. The second recipient of the Excellence in Teaching Award is Professor Dean He. Nominated by his students for the Excellence in Teaching Award, Professor He embraces teaching as an opportunity to engage and inspire his students. His students remarked, Professor He was always willing to help any student. As described by his students, Professor He is enthusiastic, patient, and willing to go the extra mile to assist in students' learning. Professor He enhanced my confidence on a career choice. He is a teacher I respect and will keep in touch with after graduation, reads one of his many nominations. Professor He is always willing to help any student. As an instructor teaching in the Commerce and Economic Development graduate program since 2014, Professor He teaches graduate-level applied microeconomic theory and economic development courses. He also worked at the San Francisco Unified School District as an Education Pioneer Graduate School Fellow. Additionally, Professor He was a research assistant with the Brookings Institution. Professor He holds a master's degree in economics education and economics analysis from Columbia University and Wichita State, respectively. I invite Professor He to come forward to be presented with the 2017 Excellence in Teaching Award. In recognition of your accomplishments, the College of Professional Studies is delighted to present you with this year's Excellence in Teaching Award. Congratulations to Professor Jennifer Yufeng Jian and Professor Dean He.
Thank you, Dr. Detweiler. Graduates, as you and your families are gathered here today to celebrate your personal transformation that comes with holding a brand new degree from Northeastern, we are fortunate to welcome Lindsay Levin, whose work focuses on the transformation of companies and organizations, to mark this day with us. Lindsay Levin and the social enterprise she founded, Leaders Quest, have created a model for learning and social change built on ideas that resonate deeply here at Northeastern. Ideas like, there is no substitute for the power of experience in learning. And many of the answers we seek can be found in the networks of people, places, and organizations of which we are already members. When we tap those networks, the potential is extraordinary. Ms. Levin studied economics at the University of Cambridge, found a passion for connecting people, and took away a deep sense of the interconnectedness of all of us through systems, economies, cultures, ideas, and the planet we share. She authored Invisible Giants, Changing the World One Step at a Time, celebrating the profound examples of leadership that can be found outside the CEO's office, in communities, and in neighborhoods. In the pages of the great UK newspaper, The Guardian, she said, "A leader to me is somebody who, whatever their background and status, steps up to overcome obstacles and change the world around them, and inspires others to do the same." We are honored and thrilled that Lindsay Levin, just back from a Leader's Quest, is here to share her thoughts with us today. Please join me in welcoming Lindsay Levin.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you very much, Dean Leffelholtz, for such a warm welcome. Thank you, faculty, for inviting me to be here with you today. I have 3 children, and 4 weeks from now, my husband and I will be back in our home country of Britain to see the eldest 2 graduate from college. Parents, families, I know how proud you are. Students, graduates, I know how hard you've worked. Congratulations on this very special day. Being here today is for me another step into becoming American and connecting with this big, beautiful, complicated country. Last week I was in West Virginia to meet with different communities there. On the last day, I got to the end of a conversation with a young man who'd been telling me about his life, and I asked him if he knew from my accent where I came from. He said, "I think you come from somewhere where they don't speak English." So, as you can hear, I didn't grow up here. I went to university in Britain and studied economics. To be honest, I wasn't very good at it. But what I did learn from economics is something you think about a great deal here at Northeastern. I learned that everything is interconnected. In the human world we've created, as well as in the natural world, flows of goods and services, flows of people and jobs. We've created interconnected economies in an interconnected world. An action taken in one corner of the globe has a consequence somewhere else. Networks abound and proliferate. This theme has shaped my life. For the last 15 years, as CEO of Leaders Quest, my work has been about bridging gaps, helping leaders from different walks of life to work towards creating a more inclusive, sustainable future. It's taken me to cities and villages, slums and townships in Africa, Asia, Latin America, the Middle East, to my home continent of Europe, as well as my new home, the United States. It's been about learning to see both the big picture and the small detail, and to recognize how they're related. When I was 5 years old, the astronauts on the spaceship Apollo 9 sent back the first aerial photographs of the Earth taken from the far side of the moon. Just a century or so after the invention of photography, and 60 years after the first precarious flights in flying machines, here were these amazing photographs of our home taken from 240,000 miles away. Pictures that changed our experience of who we are as human beings. For the first time, we got to see from afar that we live on an exquisite blue planet, surrounded by a fragile line of atmosphere in an unimaginably vast universe. The impact on those astronauts was very powerful. It became known as the overview effect. The power of seeing ourselves in proportion, of seeing Earth and all life on it as a whole, of recognizing that in the end, we succeed or fail together. Sometimes this feels far from the prevailing view. Some of us want to build up walls around us, to seal ourselves off in our own small tribe of people who think like us or live like us. But it's not real. We share the same hopes and dreams, loves and fears, depend on the same ecosystems. In the work I do today, I spend a lot of time with people who are 20 or 30 or 40 years into their careers. Oftentimes, they've been very financially successful. But often, too, they wake up mid-career and ask themselves, what's it all about? I've worked so hard. I've built security for my family. Yet, amidst the rush, I've lost touch with some of my values. I'm still looking for a sense of purpose. Yet, purpose is all around us every day. It's just a matter of looking with the right lens. In towns and cities all over America, all over the world, including those I just visited in West Virginia, if you go in search of hopelessness, you'll find it. But if you change the lens and look for possibility, you'll find far, far more of that. People are resilient. We want to build meaningful lives for ourselves and our children. In the years to come, if you find yourself in a job where you can't find purpose, you're probably in the wrong job. If you find yourself growing cynical, you probably need to get out more, to spend less time following the media and more time meeting people in everyday situations. Because in my experience, when we do so, we find hundreds, thousands, even millions of examples of good people making a difference. The writer Viktor Frankl, who survived the death camp at Auschwitz, writes about how we find meaning even in the darkest of situations. One of my favorite nuggets from Frankl is this: between stimulus and response, there's a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. And in our response lies our growth and our freedom. If I have one wish for all of you, it's that you learn to choose your response. So what do I mean by that? At a time when so much of life seems to be speeding up, with huge technological discovery and disruption, and with political upheaval in many parts of the world, a time when, despite extraordinary gains in global well-being over the last century, many people feel threatened and insecure. In these times, more than ever, it's important that we learn to be wise as well as smart, to listen to our own intuition, the still small voice inside, and choose how we respond to whatever life brings up, what we spend our time on, how we behave towards one another, the means as well as the ends. This is our agency in the world, the imprint we leave behind. But how do we do that? How do we choose our response in an overwhelming and complex world? Well, first, I think we need to take time to notice. Where I live, in New York City, life for some people is hard. My neighbors include professionals working all kinds of jobs. They also include Maria, a homeless woman who lives on the corner with her little dog Bella, and Reggie, an elderly man, also homeless, who wears a baseball cap, walks with a cane, and wishes me good morning every day as I walk past the doorway where he sleeps. I can walk on by. I can choose not to notice. But whenever I do so, I'm the poorer for it. I've learned that I'd far rather see life as it is, unvarnished, than to hide from uncomfortable truths. There's a beautiful saying, you never meet another person without leaving an impression. I think that's so true. I may wish that Maria and Reggie had easier lives. I may feel inadequate in my response. But my life is far richer for knowing them. And on my best days, maybe, just maybe, the way I show up makes a small difference to their lives too. You're part of a community here at Northeastern that's committed to lifelong learning. Many of you have earned your degrees whilst juggling 1, 2, 3 jobs. Some of you are parents of your own children. Others may be carers for family members who need your support. One reason I feel so honored to be here with you today is knowing that many of you are mature students, well into living responsible lives, who've had to work extra hard to be here. So take a moment now to look around you at your peers and simply notice one another, to acknowledge what you've each achieved. Bring to mind the faces of family and friends who've encouraged you when you've wanted to quit, the person who serves you coffee in the morning, the teachers who've helped you discover what you really care about. And afterwards, when all this is done, take the time to tell each and every one of them what their support has meant to you. Second, I think we need to learn to listen to other points of view. As a friend said to me last week, Nowadays, the only exercise many of us get is jumping to conclusions. A few months back, our middle son called me from college. "Mum," he said, "a funny thing happened to me today. I got bored working in the library, so I went to a cafe in town. I bought a coffee and settled into a corner with my textbooks. An elderly couple came in and sat at the table next to me. I noticed them looking across, curious to see what I was reading. 'Do you know anything about quantum mechanics?' I asked them. The old man shrugged. 'Just a little.' So I began to talk to them about the theories I'm studying and why I'm so excited about it all, keeping it simple so that they could understand. Time passed and the couple were ready to leave. As they stood up, the woman reached out and touched her husband's arm very gently. 'We've actually got a very special trip coming up,' she said. 'We're off to Stockholm to collect my husband's Nobel Prize for Physics.' Now, my son couldn't have imagined who he was speaking to, but perhaps that just a little was a further invitation to deeper listening. And when it's not Nobel Prize winners who stand before us, but those of lesser stature, modest means, are we ready to hear them? To hear past our own assumptions towards the truth of the lives they lead? It means taking the time to imagine ourselves in another person's shoes, to look at the world from there. Beyond noticing, beyond listening, there's something else that many more of us need to embrace, and that's the ability to see ourselves in one another, to truly identify with the humanity of another person, even when we deeply disagree with them. It's not easy. It takes courage and humility to ask, how is it true that what I see or fear or judge in another person is a version of me? People in Southern Africa have a word for this, Ubuntu. I am human because of the connection between us. Ubuntu describes the universal bond that sits at the core of our identity. And finally, if we want freedom to choose our response, I believe we also need to seek stillness. I speak not as an expert, but as someone who trips over my own mistakes most days. But what I have discovered is that if I want to grow wise, I need to cultivate stillness. For some people, this may come through meditation or prayer. For others, it's about nature or music or poetry or simply making space for silence. In my case, it means learning to quiet my mind even just for a few minutes every day, to stop long enough to marvel at the beauty all around me. If only I care to look, to catch myself when I feel angry or judgmental, to pause just long enough to make room to choose how I respond. So, as Frankl said, between stimulus and response, there's a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. That's the space I wish for each of you. And one last thing. Thank you. Thank you, graduates, for all the work you've put into earning your degree. Thank you for the difference you've already made in the world. And thank you for all the good things still to come.
Thank you, Lindsay Levin, for these words of empowerment and wisdom and stillness and listening and noticing. Thank you, Lindsay.
I now invite Senior Associate Dean Patrick Plunkett to the podium.
Good morning. Good morning. Candidates, the time that you have worked so hard for and have been waiting for has arrived. The degrees in course will now be conferred. Dean Leffelholtz, it is my pleasure to report to you that the candidates here assembled and others have qualified in all respects for the degrees in course. They have successfully completed curricula offered by the College of Professional Studies at Northeastern University and have been recommended by the faculty and the Council of Deans to be awarded appropriate degrees in recognition of their academic accomplishments. After the candidates have been presented, members of the graduating class, please remain standing until your degrees have been conferred. Candidates for the degree of Doctor of Physical Therapy, Doctor of Law and Policy, Doctor of Education, or Certificate of Advanced Graduate Study, please rise. Dean Leffelholtz, I have the pleasure of presenting those candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degrees of Doctor of Physical Therapy, Doctor of Law and Policy, Doctor of Education, or Certificate of Advanced Graduate Study.
By virtue of the authority of the Board of Trustees of the University, I confer on you and on all those who have properly qualified the degrees of Doctor of Physical Therapy, Doctor of Law and Policy, Doctor of Education, or Certificate of Advanced Graduate Study, with all the honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining. Will the graduates please be seated?
Candidates for all master's degrees, please rise. Dean Leffelholtz, I have the pleasure of presenting those candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degree of Master of Science, Master of Arts in Teaching, Master of Education, Master of Arts, Master of Professional Studies, Master of Science in Technical Communication, or Master of Sport Leadership.
By virtue of the authority of the Board of Trustees of the University, I confer on you and on all those who have properly qualified the degrees of Master of Science, Master of Science in Teaching, Master of Arts in Teaching, Master of Education, Master of Arts, Master of Professional Studies, Master of Science in Technical Communication, or Master of Sports Leadership, with all the honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining. Will the graduates please be seated?
Candidates for all bachelor's or associate degrees, please rise. Dean Leffelholtz, it is my privilege to present those candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degree of Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Science with specification, or Associate in Science.
By virtue of the authority of the Board of Trustees of the University, I confer on you and on all those who have properly qualified the degrees of Bachelor of Science with specification, or Associate in science with all the honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining. Will the graduates please be seated?
Congratulations.
Graduates, please bring your graduate photo card as you approach the stage. The marshals will now present the graduates to the platform. Will the graduates please be seated? It's now my great pleasure to introduce Yadira Ramos-Ebert, class of 2012, to bring greetings from the alumni community. Yadira graduated from the College of Professional Studies with a master's degree in education. She served as an attorney in New York City for 9 years before joining Columbia University in 2013, where she is Dean of Students at the Columbia Law School. Please welcome Yadira Ramos-Ebert.
Thank you. It is my great honor to be here today and to welcome all of you, the class of 2017, to the College of Professional Studies and Northeastern alumni families. Today, you join industrious, dedicated, and motivated leaders in their fields who have gone before you. I wish you great success and encourage you to stay involved in the college. It is a great reward to be a part of the future of this institution. I would now like to invite Jessica Bishop, your class marshal, to join me on stage. Class of 2017, I now invite you to please join us in our great pinning tradition. Please remove the pin from your card and place it on the fellow graduate to your right. Uh-oh, a little bit of homework. As you place this pin on your classmate, remember that through the years, always pass your pin to any alumnus or alumna that you meet.
We have a double seat.
It is the tradition and spirit of Northeastern to be proud of your accomplishments and to work hard to preserve and promote excellence in everything that we do. This pin represents that excellence and accomplishment. Congratulations, class of 2017.
Will all graduates receiving their first degree please rise? As a symbol of transition from candidate to graduate, I ask each of you to turn your cap tassel from the right side to your left. I would now ask all graduates and the Northeastern alumni in the audience to stand and join in the singing of the alma mater. Muglahi Fabruzzi will lead us in song. Words and music are on the back page of the program and on the monitor behind me.
Please be seated. I would like to thank members of the university leadership team, members of our alumni community, and families and friends, both present and those joining us online, for gathering today to honor all of you. I would especially like to thank our faculty for their extraordinary contributions to this graduating class. Graduates, in this ceremony and celebration, we recognize your outstanding accomplishments of earning a degree at Northeastern University. Whenever you can doubt that you can reach a goal, remember your journey. Remind yourselves that you persisted. You succeeded. Remember this day, May 12th, 2017. This is your day. You are now members of the Northeastern University alumni family. You join a global community of successful individuals and responsible global citizens who lead their fields and their communities. I encourage you to engage with this powerful alumni network. Join your fellow alumni in supporting those who have the same dream to earn a Northeastern degree. Connect with the Professional Advancement Network for the lifelong learning your career and your life will demand. As you embrace your success, be grateful. As Lindsay Levin reminds us, be mindful. Be thankful for all that you've accomplished. Be appreciative of those who helped you along the way. Family, friends, employers, colleagues, classmates, faculty, staff, mentors, advisors, and everyone who's celebrating with you today. Class of 2017, we are very proud of you. We look forward to celebrating your many successes. Keep in touch, and congratulations.
Will the graduates please remain seated until their marshals recess them from the arena? Would the audience please remain seated until the stage party, faculty, and students have recessed from the building?
Thank you.